So before going to the exercise, let us have some basics of matrix. So matrix basically is the ordered rectangular array of numbers or functions. So if we write some numbers within rectangular arrays, so within this bracket, if we write some numbers 2, 5, 7, 8, or if we write some functions like sine of x, tan of x, cos of x, cot of y. So if we write any numbers or any functions inside a rectangular array, then it becomes a matrix. So these numbers inside this bracket is a matrix. So this complete one is a matrix, and here also it is a matrix. Sine of x, tan of x, cos of x, cot of y inside this bracket is a square bracket is a matrix. So simply you can understand any number arranged in a rectangular pattern inside a square bracket, it is a matrix. Now we will understand what is row and column in a matrix. So row and column. So first of all, what is row? The horizontal lines in a matrix are called rows. So the first line, this one, it is a row. This is also a row. This is also a row. The horizontal lines in a matrix is called a row, and the vertical lines, that is this line, this line, this line, and this line, it is a column. So all of these lines are columns. So the horizontal lines will be called rows. Then the number of rows here is 1, 2, 3. So in this matrix, the number of rows here n equals 3. If you consider the number of rows by n, then n equals 3, and the number of columns n will be equal to, so the number of columns here 1, 2, 3, 4. So the number of columns here is 4, and the number of rows is 3. So this is the concept of number of rows and columns in a matrix. Now regarding order of a matrix, if a matrix has m rows and n columns, then the order of the matrix will be equal to m by n. So if a matrix has m rows and n columns, if a matrix has m rows, m number of rows, and n number of columns, then the order of the matrix will be m by n. So here the number of rows of the matrix is 1, 2, 3. It is equal to 3 by the number of columns here 1, 2, 3, 4. So the order of this matrix is 3 by 4. So the order is read as, suppose if the order of the matrix is m by n, so it will read as m by n, which is m by n. So the order of the matrix, this one, is 3 by 4. So generally, if the number of rows is n and the number of columns is n, then the order of the matrix will be m by n. Let us start question number 1.1 of exercise 3.1. So in question number 1, it is a matrix A is given. It is the matrix. So in question number 1.1, we have to find the order of this matrix. To find the order of this matrix, we have to find the matrix. We have to find the number of rows and the number of columns first. So let us find the number of rows. The number of rows m here is 1, 2, 3, and the number of columns here is 1, 2, 3, 4. The number of columns n plus 4. So the order of the matrix A, we can easily find it now. The order of matrix A is m number of rows by number of column. So number of rows m is equal to 3 by number of column is 4. So the order of the matrix is 3 by 4. The order of the matrix is 3 by 4. So let us repeat again. So to find the order of a matrix, at first we have to find the number of rows and number of columns. So the number of rows here is 1, 2, 3. So the number of rows m is equal to 1, 2, 3. And the number of column is 1, 2, 3, 4. So the number of column n equals 4. So now easily we can find out the order of the matrix. The order of the matrix A is equal to m times n, times that is m by n, equals m is 3 by n is 4. In question 2 of 1, we will find the number of elements of this matrix A. So to find the number of elements of matrix A, we need to find out the number of rows and number of columns of matrix A. So first of all, number of rows m will be equal to 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 rows. Now the number of columns n is equal to number of columns 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 columns. So now we can find out the number of elements of matrix A. So therefore the number of elements equal to the number of rows multiplied by the number of columns. So to find the number of elements, we have to multiply the number of rows and columns. Then the result is the number of elements. So m is 3 times n is 4. So the product of 3 and 4 is 12. So 12 here is the number of elements of A. Now question number 3. So in question number 3, we have to find the elements. We have to find the element A13, A21, A24, A23 and A33. So to find the elements, at first we have to know what is meant by A13. Of course, A will be the element and 13. So the first number here 1, it is the row, number of row, and the number 3, it is the number of column. So the first one is number of row and the second one is number of column. Row, column. 2 is row, 3 is column. 3 is row, 3 is column. Okay. So to find the element A13, at first we have to look at 1, that is row number 1. So it is row number 1 and 3. 3 is the column number. So the column number is third column, that is 3. So 1, 2, 3. So row number 1 and column number 3. So the element which is intersected by these two lines is 19. So in row 1 and column 3, we get the element 19. So A13 is 19. Similarly, A21, here the row is 2. The row is 2, that is second row, and column is 1. So first column. So second row, first column. So the element we get 35. Got it? So similarly you can find out A24. So 2 is the row is 2, second row, and 4 is the column. Fourth column is first column, second column, third column, fourth column. So second row, fourth column. The element we get is 12. So similarly A23. So 2 is the number of row, second row, first row, second row. So the second row will be the row, and 3 is the column, third column, second row and first, second, third column. So it is 5/2. Last one, A 3 3. Row is 3 and column is also 3. So row is 3, third row, and column is 3, third column. So it will be equal to -5. So in this way you can find the elements. If the elements are given in this pattern, A12, A13, A21, so you can find the elements.